AMC, big update from TradeSpot, and I share a great affinity with the shareholders in AMC because they're trying to change the markets in the same way that I am. I know that a lot of people from various tickers have a go at each other nowadays, and I personally have taken a lot of grief for trying to help people in AMC because any interaction with the ticker is seen to be undermining other plays, which I don't think is fair, and I'm trying to help the shareholders of good company. So AMC, this is the update. They're facing problems in 2024, partly due to their debt position. As we all know, they've been raising money. Through 2023, AMC managed to bring in $865 million. That's 3/4 of the money GameStop managed to raise. That's a significant raise. It's a huge deal they did that. But they didn't get it all from retail investors. And despite the success of that strategy, Adam Aron is still facing criticism because in order to raise that cash, he had to dilute you. All the retail shareholders had to take that one on the chin. It led to a 77% decline in the share price. That's pretty drastic, and the CEO defends it. He says that these actions highlight the importance of robust cash reserves given the industry's recent challenges. But those challenges were predictable by everybody apart from Aron. Big miss there for somebody who says that his main strength he brings to the business is his experience and his wisdom, but he lacked the foresight to predict that huge problem with the writer's strike, which we all saw, and that has further implications for the company and the strategy of raising cash. Their long-term debt now stands at $4.75 billion, and they have a liquidity ratio of 0.64. That means they have the cash available to pay 64% of that debt that's due this year, that short-term debt that's due this year, not that full 4.75 billion, just this year. They've got only 64% of what they need there, right? So there's a critical problem. It's an improvement from November when it was only 4.6 or 46%. However, ongoing attention is needed and requires issuance of more shares. If this is the strategy that Aron is going to undertake, is he's going to liquidate shares in order to raise cash to pay off debts, then that's going to push down the value of the shareholders' investments. Now, if he does it on a price rise, that means that it dampens momentum and it makes the whole thing last exponentially longer. So, well, sometimes it can think like, oh, he's chosen the right time to do it this time. In fact, actually, maybe not. So the question arises then, if this company's quarterly revenue growth will manage to increase at such a time as they're able to improve their cash flow position and then meet those obligations, because if they can't, again, they're going to have to raise shares. So will revenue growth and a robust EBITA offer further reason for optimism? Let's check in on the AMC charts. The question is arising whether the CEO has actually got the right strategy, because raising further cash through equity investments isn't a long-term sustainable solution, and he's already dipped into that pot an awful lot of times. So personally, I would be happy to take on the job. I'd be focusing on cost optimization. It would have been my strategy for the past 2.5 years. For the next 6 months to 12 months, AMC is going to have to really pull it out of the bag. I'm willing to do it for you if you vote me onto the board. Shareholders will question Aron's ability to guide the company effectively through these challenges, and whether an effective change might be to introduce a new leader with fresh energy and fresh ideas. Some Wall Street analysts consider AMC undervalued, but that doesn't mean that the price isn't going to go down further. We're going to check in with the charts now. The leadership of the company could do with some updates. Now, I share a great affinity with AMC shareholders. Saying this will draw lots of ire and abuse to me online, but it's as I believe. And the same thing has been true because I even mentioned the words AMC at the start of this video, many GameStop fans of mine will unsubscribe and throw acid at me on the internet. So I have to tread between a number of different highly motivated people and groups of people here to deliver what I believe to be effective, useful information for you. Now, obviously, I don't genuinely believe about the idea I'll get elected to the AMC's board. I'm trying to demonstrate that I have strong conviction in my beliefs and that I base this information on real data. And there's a fidelity to the information I put across. So here we are into the GameStop charts. There's Luna. It's down at the 200 period moving average and 4-hour time frame, and all crypto a little bit of a low, offering up a potential opportunity. Oh, you can't see it because I haven't changed this yet into the charts. Get it up on the screen. And then flip across to just some other opportunities that might be coming up. Flip across to AMC. Talk about these potential price rises that are possible, certainly. So, logarithmic chart, very important to make the points here. AMC dropped out of this channel. Seeing the same liquidity moves and the same elasticity of price from inside and outside that channel. Price action covering the same range that was within out here. Finding support, and on the 4-hour time frame, the negative trend is in ascendancy. You found resistance at the center line on the RSI, and you've been putting in lower highs and lower lows. This side of the trend, a degree of rotational symmetry. Let's get up to the weekly. We'll start just on price action alone. Put things in context. So price action on AMC retraced back below its all-time lows now at 6.65 was the close, 6.72 pre-market. AMC offering up opportunities simply because it's at such low areas on the chart. So if I zoom in here, make that point, you've gone back below your previous low as we predicted here. Looking left, you can see you've taken out those lows prior to the AMC squeeze in 2021. So everything gained has been giving up everything, along with the conversion of the equity shares and all of that money raised by shareholders. It's all been given up. The share price has completely come back to lower than it was before, and all that money that's been raised from the retail movement and from institutions hasn't managed to pay off the debt or increase the company's valuation, because those people who've been invited in with shareholders to have new equity stakes in AMC, plus those companies with controlling interest before, are speculating on the downside value and exploiting those moves using a series of financial products that make it so that they never lose, even if price goes down. And sometimes it's much easier for them to chase that direction. So AMC is full of snakes and vultures, and I wish it wasn't, but it's true. They are around us. Okay, so auto fit the data. You've got this slightly broadening formation that price action took it below its previous lows here. Stick on the indicators and you can see that you had divergence between those two most recent lows. Lower low on price, not so low on the oscillator. And then you've got a degree of flux on the DMX. So something's coming, and a move likely to around, well, if you can take out that 50 simple, that's the first place to head to on the daily time frame at $8, which is 30% up from the minute. Go down to 4-hour time frame. You can see that you've most recently found that rejection at the center line on the RSI, like we were talking about. It is a downtrend, so there's nothing to confirm that things have changed yet. Lower highs, lower lows, below the 50 simple. It's below the 200 period moving average after an impulse move down. So there will be gaps. The first one at 11.93, closing that likely does happen in the same move that closes the gap at 16.220. And there on the 4-hour where you find the 200 period moving average is also the lower side of this channel. If AMC is going to pop, then that's the area it's going to head towards. The lower side of this gap at around $11.40, $11.50. That's the first resistance to the top side. Managed to break through that. You've got a 200 period moving average that comes in at around $14.74, $15. And then a gap which would close at around 20. It also then beat the basis line of the previous channel that price action was in. If you were to break that, you'd be heading up and testing 35. Now, this is all very possible if AMC gets positive momentum and starts managing to break through those resistance levels, but they're very strong. And the first one in at around 11 is a significant distance away from price, especially if it looks like you might find a little bit of a touch of congestion and resistance at 8. Down to the 1 hour time frame where you're getting a 750, 200 period moving average, along with a previous high and an important area from the formation that you left in order to start this sideways accumulative. This is consolidation at the back of distribution, so it's very dodgy. And if it starts putting in more and more lower highs, then you'd look for continuation and further distribution. Prices coming back down, testing below 5, in at around 540, 550. Failing a bit above the 50 simple at 684, which you're already on the way to pre-market, we suggest that that's maybe imminent. So you're worried about drips to 550. If you do, AMC does recover back above $6.85, $7, then it's heading towards 750, and it might be on for that move up towards 8 and then try 11. But at the moment, you're not seeing anything imminent down to the 15-minute time frame where the negative trend is actually pushing into perhaps divergent territory, while the RSI not pulling back as far as it might previously have done, which means that AMC is in danger of imminent collapse or a move to the top side, testing those $8.750 levels. We can also make price action larger here. Talk about this price action here. It's very much going sideways. So in terms of looking for like moves that are of a large range, breakout moves that people would get excited about, and you'd see like loads of videos on the internet and loads of people exciting and loads of people talking about it online, and you'd be looking at it when price action is back above 750 and pushing up towards $11. That's when the hype will come back, and until such time as it makes that move, it's very much in danger of dropping back down to 650. If that doesn't hold, it'll fall to 550 and be creating new lower lows. All of these offering up opportunities because AMC is going to pop again. Of course it is. AMC is going to pop again. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the chart itself or fundamentals that pull it up, because it's in a basket of stocks which are highly volatile and have something extra that most stocks don't. So if it was that AMC could manage to readjust its footing and recover those important fundamentals and start trending to the top side in terms of its overall operational performance, then that would put off a lot of short sellers. And if you add to that the frantic, feverish nature of meme stock investors, at least that's how they're perceived by the other side of the trade. We seem to be irrational, dangerous, highly unpredictable, and an idiosyncratic risk to the other side of the trade. They don't know what to do with us because they've got no fucking idea what we're going to do next. This was the AMC update. Got more coming today. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to become a channel member, it'd be really appreciated. And I'd happy to do these videos more often if I get some level of engagement. So if you feel like sharing it on your social media platforms, go right ahead. Maybe that there's people out there who share this feeling and sense and analysis, who have the same opinions and the same outlook as you and I. And I'd like to meet them, bring them on. I'd do my best to help them. Thanks very much.